Welcome to my daily practice at Wendy Coad Art. If you find this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life and I am excited to invite you into my studio and show you my art practice. I paint every day and I do acrylic on paper. I also do stencils. I draw. I organize my studio space. I do a lot of things. For me, art is about problem solving, so there's always little tricks and tools that I can share with you along the way. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Studio. I am working on a series of paintings. I thought they were done, but I keep working on them, and that's a good thing because I'm quite happy with how they've turned out so far. I just have to pause. You know, there's something different that happens when I invite you into my studio. I'll just confess that it does change somewhat my process in that I've become a little more conscious as I've been describing what I'm doing, as I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. It's not such a big deal, but it is different. And I'm noticing that it's taking a little bit longer for me to make some of the decisions. I don't mind, but it is a change. So I think that might be why a lot of artists work in relative isolation, just to kind of clear that away so that they can get into the zone. I've just been doing this for so long that I feel the zone even in a crowded room. Well, this is not really a crowded room. I've invited you in and I'm so glad that you're here. So I'm waiting on these for the moment, but I have these wonderful little panels that I've begun, and I'm excited about putting some of these stencils onto them and continuing with this iconography. And I'm going to switch things up a bit today, just to try, see what works, see what sticks. So let me get some paint. Okay, now, in the past, I have used my squeegee, and I love it because I can create a variety of lines and shapes with it, and I just squeegee past the over the stencil, and it lays down the paint, not particularly delicately, but that's not my main goal. Just getting a couple of reds here. I think I'd like to try a couple of reds in this. Yeah, the kind of smushes underneath. I'm not being very particular. And really, with stenciling, what you usually do is you have a stenciling brush and you kind of dab the paint on so that it doesn't kind of slide underneath. Okay, that's good. I I don't use that. And I'm not going to use it today. I'm going to use, well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to use it today. I'm going to use something else. And so I have found that tin paper, has a really interesting effect when you lay it down, first of all, put some paint on, and then there's a variety of things that you can do with it. You can press it down and have interesting formations. Oh, it's so interesting, in fact, that I want to do it here. But actually, what I thought to do was cover it and see if I could get the stencil to work. So let me put some colors down here. You can use a variety of colors. I think you just need to get the surface covered. It doesn't need to be much more than the stencil itself, the size of the stencil itself. And the nice thing is that everybody has tinfoil, so just going to mix it a little bit. Whoa, look at that. It's pretty sweet just the way it is. Let me just put that down somewhere. I really did want a stencil though, so I'm going to put it down on my stencil and just see what happens. Well, it doesn't articulate very well. Now that I've tried that, I'm just going to put it down. I mean, that's kind of great. And I usually do this on some of these larger panels. Look at how nice that looks on top of the large blue squares. I'm going to pick up some of this. There's a lot of extra paint here, so I'm just going to pick some of that up. And I'm going to try the stencil again because it didn't really work as I had planned. So this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down there, and then how am I going to do this simultaneously? I need 3 hands for this. Okay, so I'm going to hold this. I just want to hold it a little bit taut and pull it so that it's almost acting like a brush. Ooh. Across the surface. Okay, well, my mistake was I did orange on orange. That was a mistake. Now I'm going to try something different. I'm going to work with this silhouette. And I'm going to see if there's enough paint there to create a silhouette. Well, there is. And it's looking good on this side. But it's not really coming out the way that I had hoped. So maybe this is not the method to use. I just like the way this looks, though. Slide this up. It's a little bit like a fire in the middle of the page. All right. So this is my testing. And the test was a success because it allowed me to see that I have to make some adjustments. I'm still liking what it looks like. Let me see if I use some other colors. Maybe I'll do a solid. Ooh, yeah, that's solid enough. This is actually turning out to be quite a nice painting in itself. I am going to put this stencil down on top of the cutout shape, and I'm going to put this on top. I really want it as a smudge around the stencil. Ooh. Well, that's a great smudge, but it's not much bigger than the stencil. And I'd like it to be a little bigger than the stencil itself. So I'm just going to smoosh it. Oh, I do like that. And now I have a stencil with paint. If I'm quick enough, I might be able to get some of that paint off. Okay, liking that too. Let me see what happens with this guy. If I still have enough paint to smudge around. And I don't really. It's dried up on me. So it's kind of a full body experience here. Well, this will be interesting. You know, that did work to some degree. And I'm going to play with this some more. It's not elegant, delicate. You know, it's pretty clunky. And I have no problem with clunky, so I'm just going to smooth out this remainder of the paint. It is quite an interesting texture that the tinfoil creates. So I don't want to get lost with all these iterations that I'm trying out. Let's see what this does. Oh, wow. Oh. And if I drag it, then it has another quality. You see that? Maybe I'll put a little of that next to my goddess here. Okay, well, the first one had enough of the paint to keep it fresh. The second one, not so much, but that'll be a nice backdrop for something else, another figure, a shape, something else. I have it in mind to find some more of these cutouts, some more of these, you know, God and goddess shapes, because they're so iconic that you recognize them, and they are a representation of art history, Western art history, and you know, an aesthetic that is so refined and so delicate and so, you know, exquisite in its detail. But then, of course, they're often headless, armless, legless. You know, what's left are the torsos. So that's all problematic, and that's it. I'm going to yeah, I'm going to leave it there as my phone is ringing. Oh, I'm so happy that you are joining me today, and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day to day as an artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here. Hello.
Hello, I don't know if my line fell, but all of a sudden I'm like, she's gone.
Yeah, I was getting a weak connection.